You ever been with somebody so long that after a while they start laughing like you? You know what I'm saying? Some of the little phrases that you would normally use, like, yeah, after a while you start noticing that other people, the people that you're around often,
Start doing it too.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, that feeling of, I mean, it's kind of like going through inauguration drop. It's bigger than Dom drop. I mean, we hosted family and friends. We worked, we showed up, we hung out. We went to the dungeon. We had fun with others, and they had fun with us.
Right.
And
And you know what? That's something that I was trying to say too when I did that blog about how fascinating. It was really a good week and there was so much going on, but still, it's like you still had that energy, but then it was an energy of feeling like, I didn't say drop, but it is when you say tired, but then
yeah,
not
it's
really
kind of like
tired, but like okay, we just went through this, but you're still excited about it, but then it's
right,
really
kind of like being
really
drained, but not really being drained. You know,
exactly.
to the point where it's kind of like when I mean, we live in DC, and in living in DC, you have these moments where it's like, well, everybody else comes here and visits, and they go, oh, but for us, it was like being the host,
Exactly.
and not that there was a big issue with being a host, more so than it was just having done good by being
The host.
a host, yeah. And in the meantime, it kind of is like, you're still in your own city, though. And while in your own city, it kind of got to that point where it's like, well, damn.
What's all the excitement about?
Well, kind of like when we took the bus back from the Lincoln Memorial that time, and the streets were crowded and people were going to balls and all this other stuff, and the trains were crowded, but the bus was relatively empty. But the bus driver was off the chain.
Yes, he was.
And the few people that was on there was like, and it was kind of like sitting in your own little private limo as you went through town. A bus ride usually takes 15 minutes. You didn't mind it taking like an hour.
Right. It took about that too.
Yeah, it took about an hour, but in the meantime, I mean, it's like you got the sights and the sounds and, a little bit of the tourist and whatnot, but going through the same location, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like,
It didn't seem like it was the same location in a sense because of all the people that were all around everywhere when you seen them.
yeah,
Put a lot of excitement in coming through that area.
right. So it's like you saw the place that you normally see, and then all of a sudden you see it with all the hype and the hoopla. And then after then, it's kind of like, the mall ain't going to be the same without a couple of million people in it right now.
Right.
The metro just ain't going to be the same without a 30, 40-minute wait trying to get in the damn place, and just way too many people, and the people on the train are sitting in comfort cracking jokes on all the other people that seem to be like, just get me out of this place. I just want to be out of this station. To take me to another station. I'll stop there and get used to a bunch more crazy people. Yeah. Or just getting out and just, I mean, I took a look out. I sat out there for a second and I looked around and it just felt like the city was there, but it's kind of like, after you go to like, a parade and then all the street sweepers and stuff go by, and it was like a holiday where, by night you go back to that same location and it's all washed down and clean, but it's kind of like empty. You would never have thought that there was like a couple of thousand people there earlier.
Right.
You know. it's kind of, in one way it's serene, but in another way it's kind of depressing. You know, I mean, I like to go somewhere and miss where I'm home. Miss being home. You get out and wear out of somewhere else, and then when you come back, it doesn't look so bad. It's like the city missed you. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's that feeling, that inauguration drop. I mean, damn. When you're standing around in your own city and stuff like that, and you got celebrities passing by, and you're like, hey, that's so-and-so. Hey, that's so-and-so. Hey, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
You don't really feel like going back to the same location and seeing Willy Bobo kids and all of that, and,
Right? I do. It just don't feel the same.
Well, yeah, that need for hitting the road for a minute, getting to some green space or some other space, having that same feeling that we gave out, by going somewhere else and being hosted. I don't mean I feeling the need to go and post up on somebody else, but wow, it's like New Year's Eve. It's like New Year's Day, like 1 minute after New Year's, when whoever comes in, you have to be extra. Hey, come on in. Hey, bless the house. Here, walk around. Here, have some black eyed peas and some cornbread and some greens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Have a drink. Burn one. I mean, I've seen that feeling with a lot of other people. Like, when we used to go over to Cleveland, and it's like you can tell that they were really happy to have somebody in there, especially multiples, where the girl had somebody and the guy had somebody, you kind of got a utilization of the house. And then all of a sudden, it was like ready for us to leave. And it wasn't like they were, oh, I'm sorry for you to go. It's like, damn, we're going to be stuck with each other as soon as you leave. Too.
Is that how it felt when they left us?
Well, no. When they left us, I was like, wow, I can scratch my nuts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow. Inauguration drop. That's some deep shit.
Well, just think that you were all up in it.
Yeah, but that's kind of like you multiply sub drop and dom drop by a couple of thousand and then add vanilla. And what you got is that feeling, that need to just, walk on somebody else's turf for a minute. But I don't want to just go like down the street to some other raggedy place. It has to be really
outside of the limits.
Yeah.
City limits.
Right. No, well, not necessarily city limits, but the limits of reality.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Outside of the limits of reality. Kind of like, if you live in Kansas, you get tired of that. You go to Arizona or, New Mexico or California or Oregon or something weird like that where not even the vegetation looks the same.
Oh, yeah.
Some
of them don't even have vegetation at all.
Everybody's got something.
California's mountains, well, they got a little bit in their yards and stuff like that, but they have to grow that stuff, and a lot of times it's up on those mountains, and then they have all those fires. So.
Yeah. I could dig that, but when it's green, it's green, and it's really green. And it's really green in California.
Northern.
Yeah, and it's really green in California. It said it's really green in California. Super green. Sure. Even though I know there's a bunch of people like in Compton or something to be like, man, New York City would be great right now. I don't know, man. I mean, I wish I knew a few more people to live somewhere like back in the woods or something. Not like I'm really into going back in the woods because, us black folks, sometimes we be having those feelings, I mean, not that we worry about Jason coming in, but Jason always gets to black people first.